In this video, you will see one of the processes that you could follow to complete the practice quiz. I'm going to open up the two files provided, quiz 1 and quiz 2. At the end of this quiz, we want our image to look something like the one provided on eCampus. So now that I have both of the images open, first thing I need to do is bring in the image of the man with the shirt to the background. One thing that I could do right away is go to the hamburger icon, click on duplicate layer, select the new name for this layer. I'll call it man with shirt, and choose the destination for this copy to be quiz 1. That's the other file. Click OK. And now the quiz 1 file has two layers. One is the background that we started with, and now a new one called man with shirt. Going to zoom out a little bit, and while having man with shirt layer active, that's why it's blue, I'm going to press Ctrl T. I could also have picked edit free transform. That gives me the anchors. I'm going to press Shift and Alt at the same time, and while I do that, I'm going to stretch out the image so that it covers it from top to bottom. You see that the anchors now allow the image to be completely on top of the background. I'll double click inside the image to accept these changes. Next, I will start to create a mask. I'm going to use the magic wand tool and select the gray areas around the man. I will now use my regular lasso tool, and while pressing Alt, I will remove some of the areas that I didn't want selected. I see that I still have a couple of areas that I could include. I'm going to press Shift. That gives me the plus on my lasso. That means I want to add that. I'll add this. You could have also kept on using the magic wand or the quick selection tool. So I think that I have most of it done. Before applying the mask, I'm going to refine the edge a little bit. I'll use a smart radius and just give it an extra couple of pixels. Make sure to smooth some of the selection. I won't feather anything. I will now click OK and apply my mask. So the cutout is complete, the mask is placed. Next we need to change the color to something else. It doesn't have to be red or pink. And some of you have tried to use the color replacement tool, which is a fine choice for this. However, because the man's shirt is so white in some areas, the tool doesn't really pick up anything from it. It will only do it on the darker areas, but not on the lighter ones. But a better solution may be to use select color range. I'm going to bring the fuzziness down to maybe around 60 or so. And I'm going to make a first selection of the man's shirt, and then click on the plus to keep on adding. That's also going to pick up some colors from the background, but we can deal with those later. Try to get all the shadows. Press Ctrl Z here. You might end up with some selection in this effect. Don't worry too much about it. I'd worry more about his fingernail and other areas that look like a shirt. We can fix those later. Click OK. Now that I have this selection made, it's got a shirt and some of the streaks behind it, but we can deal with that because we're going to be working on a new layer. If you click the hamburger icon, click on new layer, click OK. I'm going to select a new color. I'll start with a red, and then edit fill with the foreground color. That's the one that I picked, that red. Click OK. So now I have this red layer on top. I can delete all these lines if I press Control, hover over the mask that we created, man with shirt, That's the black and white area here, but still be in layer 1. Select the inverse and press the delete key. That gets rid of anything that's outside of the borders of this mask. I press Ctrl D to deselect or select deselect. I'm going to use an elliptical marquee. Sort of draw a circle here, press delete. I'm moving it with the cursor keys on the keyboard just so that I can get around, and I'm pressing delete every time that I would want to get rid of some of that red area there. His shirt is a little bit too red, but we can change the mode to multiply and bring the opacity down maybe to 50% or so, and that's how I ended up with a pink shirt. But we can use our color adjustment tools and make it any color we want later. This is just one process to get to this result. You may have tried something else and had success. The whole point of this exercise was to see what steps you might take to get to this stage.